We can see some of the interesting quirks of the graphics here. They represent traffic by putting these little animated blue dots that are supposed to be cars, but because that traffic level is only high enough in intersections and the regular roads don't have enough traffic yet, it looks like the cars are just popping into existence at the crossroads and vanishing again.
Right. Everybody drives a blue car, too. That's
In 3004, they rendered individual vehicles moving along, which did make it a lot more realistic. But at least with this way, you can see the number of cars per minute.
Gregarious communists. Ethiopia blurted yesterday that it supports its communists.
Chancellor Hussein, that's no way to refer to Mr. Obama.
What is Chancellor? What? Why is the traffic here 28 cars per minute, but over here it's 28 cars per...
Answer your own question.
It was 25 a second. See, look, 30. There's like spontaneously generating cars on the bridge.
People generate a whole lot of speed and they ramp up at the entrance bit. They soar over most of the bridge and then they just land at the end.
I saw it in a movie once. A movie with Keanu Reeves. I think it was
I
called...
would have accepted Blues Brothers.
I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. Yeah, see, here's another kind of problem. It's like, why are these buildings abandoned, you know? And there's industrial not being built here. I don't understand.
Despite a huge demand for it. You can also see this game kind of suffers a little from limited sprites. With the residential buildings, it's not so bad because they all look kind of alike. But we have a gray warehouse, a
next to a gray warehouse, yeah,
a substation, and a blue tank, and that's like 80% of everything we have for industrial.
Right. Oh, somebody is online Skype. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it looks like their name is printed upside down or something.
Huh. So it looks like we're losing money. So let's try reducing our funding levels a little bit.
Probably going to get a few warnings about strikes soon.
Now,
if you need to... Wait, check the budget. Can you see how much the zoos are costing or the big parks or whatever those are? Yeah, check the book thing. I think you can check the individual expenses that way.
Now where is entertainment?
Health and welfare? Okay, well...
It's hospital. Schools. So you can set individual budgets for schools and colleges. That's pretty cool. And you could do it for transit in case you want to sabotage your rails or something. I don't know. Bond payments. We should issue a bond. Those always work out. No, I don't know. I don't think that, I don't think they cost anything, does it?
I could have sworn they did, but as I keep saying, it's been a while since I've played this. Well, you have 2 employees, so unless they're very generous employees, it shouldn't really cost something.
See, that's kind of the other thing too, is that since there's been after SimCity 2000, they all kind of blend together which models in which way, you know? Because I don't remember at which point it was implemented that parks and stuff cost money, but I know they do at some point. It's abandoned building. Crime none and pollution low. That should be good for people.
I like how the weird little black and white stripe buildings, they look kind of like what would happen if you built a city in Doom.
Earthquake crushes Cape Town.
Truck blocks road, slow news day.
It must have been a whole acre
truck. No wonder.
Oh yeah, the black. It does look like Doom.
Just several identical square blocks covered in the same repeating texture.
Full of hit scanners.
Only if you're playing Plutonia. Yes, we still play Doom. We're playing SimCity 2000 now. Doom 2 came out in what, like 93?
Doom
We
2
can play
came
these
out.
games.
Yeah, I was there for Doom. Well, I've got some Doom playthroughs on my channel. That
Which they
reminds me,
are.
you should go download my Doom WAD. I've uploaded it. The one with my voice.
Oh, did it play the happy song when you put the parks down?
No, it didn't.
Ah. In the Windows version, whenever you put down any kind of entertainment building, it didn't matter if you were $8,000 in the red, crime was unstoppable, and everyone was just coughing their lungs up from pollution. You would hear this little cheering sound effect, and it would play the happiest song in the soundtrack.
Maybe it
Jello
was taken for the
negotiations.
Jello negotiations.
Pollution union. So coal and oil are teaming up now.
Dirty talk.
Ooh.
Talk dirty to me. Vulgar display of power. 8th graders stole the show at a recent inter-town competition. From algebra to literature.
What does the opinion poll say about taxes? We could probably bump those up percent and end up making money.
Probably.
The tax rates are starting to kill me.
I think, well, I hope it won't affect demand too much. Oh,
Well, we're
also
still
they
not making
boo
money.
when you raise taxes.
Just like real life.
Why must you tax us? Taxed enough already. Get it? Get it? Get it? $256,000 roads.
Well, maybe that would explain why the maintenance costs are so high.
You can't cut back on funding! Man, look at all these buildings. This is
I
worse
kind of
than
wish you could
Detroit.
just cut down the budget to reduce your capacity instead of just reducing your performance.
That's what she said.
Error.
Silence. So let's bump up the speed a little bit. Well, let's turn the newspaper. Oh, also when you hit a milestone you get another newspaper. And this one has approval ratings. So the different newspapers have different kinds of things. Also bright smog.
Also, Ethiopian communists.
Again? Man, those Ethiopians. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Lover, fighter, thug, whatever.
Brats? There are... Uh-oh, I don't want to hear anything about kinky brats in Thailand. That sounds very illegal.
What if it's bratwurst?
Even so,
So let's
it's Thailand. It's probably illegal.
turn off our subscription and turn the game speed up so we can try and maybe
Lay down some industrial...
get our
See,
city moving.
they're slowly filling in the industrial, but there are still many open spots.
Hey look, we're making money. So let's expand
Yeah, just fill that one out
this
a little.
industrial zone, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough money, see? Just enough for that.
Time will tell if you actually... Well, we are down to $12. I have ordered pizzas that cost more than this town's current treasury.
I guess we'll have to get them. We'll have to pick those pizzas up ourselves. We can't afford delivery. But look, there's people moving into the industrial zone. Look at that.
Plus, this is 1910. Those are 1910...
So that's like
so-
$100,000.
a million billion.
Million billion. They went to the courthouse and they went to the mayor and they couldn't find a calculator that went as high as $1 billion.
I know Let's Plays are usually filled with in-jokes. I've been trying to resist temptation, but...
That's not an in-joke. That's one of my videos. Oh no, isn't? Or is that one? That's one of my videos.
You are broke.
I have $87, man.
Also, I just think it's odd that they put the red scary ink on there when you're actually making.
Well, see, what I think it is I think it's to differentiate this year from this year.
Oh.
But you'd think red would be like not. We would
Yeah,
use like a
red would
different
be
color.
the scary.
Yeah, like use green or something. Do 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 do.
Do do do.
It's such a cute soundtrack.
Like I said, I enjoy it. In this one, they don't have music playing the whole game. You will have several minutes where there's no music. In the other games, they do have music constantly playing unless you turn it off. You can even pick which songs are enabled and which ones you skip.
I believe SimCity 3000 had custom music too, didn't it? Or was that in 4?
I can't remember. Like you said, these all kind of blur together. Oh, public busing. So we have buses enabled for the first time.
Is that how you spell busing?
Yeah. Like Gary Busing.
Oh. Astigmatism linked to cat lure. I thought we had a plan to withdraw from astigmatism. Anything? Bueller?
No. Hey, I'm supposed to provide you with a foil for your jokes, not your random-ass comments. I'll only laugh if it's funny. Or offensive enough. See? You're getting enough money here that we're slowly bringing in people.
See, that's kind of the objective, is to get kind of a steady cash flow. Maybe I need some light industrial over here, and maybe that'll help these
in 4 at least, it's a lot easier because the prices stay about the same, but instead of giving you just $20,000 to start, they give you, I think, $500,000. So you still have the same pattern, but you have a lot more time to build up a sustainable tax base before you start running out of money. You can go years and years in-game without having to worry about scraping down to 0.
Right.
Which is nice. It means you can experiment a little more. You can... Well, you also have more expenses in the other games because you have to worry about garbage and things like that.
Now, see,
you can also notice...
See, one of these, was it this one that was an abandoned building? Is now a place?
Yeah, we're getting a couple abandoned buildings rezoned. Abandoned buildings lower land value, so if you just want to get rid of them, you can bulldoze them, but most of the time it's better to wait until they're actually replaced by a functioning building without you having to spend money.
Right, that doesn't solve the underlying problem either. Of, you know, why it's abandoned. Abandoned where?
Speaking of bulldozing, the one thing that was really annoying is the bulldozer, you click and paint out tiles in this. In the other games, you click and drag it like the zoning. So if you want to blow up a block of buildings, in this one you have to click and drag until you hit every single square.
Right, and you hold it down, and you can kind of, you know, yeah, paint around is like, oh, look at that.
Oh, we have our first high-rise in 1913.
Cool, look at that office tower.
Yeah, in 3000 they all had weird, goofy names.
But we've kind of a problem doing the painting thing. I was always wind up hitting like the wrong building and accidentally blowing up everything. Oh no! What just happened?
Pollution disaster, what does it say?
A stinking cloud descended upon vulgar display of power.
You actually got the toxic cloud disaster?
Contaminating a book. The toxic cloud festered in the air befalling to the ground.
You can get a lot of random disasters, most of which you have no control over, but obviously if you have high pollution, that's when you start having the risk of the toxic cloud disaster.
progress at Camp Chris. I bet he's still idle. Sorry. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Water shortage reported again, huh?
Hey, I just dug up a list of some of the SimCity 3000 building names for those who would care to hear them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see if I can just read off some of the more interesting ones while you're dicking around with your water mains. We can say dick, right?
You can.
Okay. You can pretty much tell whether these are commercial or industrial from the name. We've got Armpit Central, Barrel Fun Motor Oil Recycling, Double Stogie Enterprise, the Creamy Filling Consortium, Gurgle and Smelt, Muck Factory, Sim Mars Research and Testing Facility.
I bet it's closed.
The Smog-O-Matic, Shiny Things Incorporated.
I like shiny things.
Utility Muffin Research, Truck So Plenty, Soot Sifter, Amalgamated Amalgamation, Asphalt Grazer. Oh, now we're getting into the commercial. Crazy Larry's Family Flea Market. A lot of these are probably named after more development people. The Fountain of 9 to 5, the Fountain of Generation X, Hump Day Park, which sounds a lot more fun than it probably is, Licks Ice Cream, Yuppie Memorial Park. And then for the residential, we've got stuff like Bleak's Abode, the Brick Arms Apartments, which makes me think of the Robot Arms Apartments, Comfort Towers, Dingy Avenue, Elm Street, Hacienda Court.
I remember that one. That kind of had like a Spanish look to it.
Yeah. Lawn in Concrete, Mullet High Rise.
That sounds dirty.
Project Feelgood, Plush Manor, Squat Street.
That sounds like a shitty place to live.
Zeke's Home, Zeke's Cousin Home, and Zeke's Uncle's Home. So yeah, 3000 had a lot more of the colorful stuff to it.
I wonder who Zeke is.
Some guy.
Construction. I see, look, and our abandoned buildings are gone, so I guess that must have been what they needed. I guess it was just what I needed.
And now we've got full demand for everything, so we'd better take advantage of that during the 30 seconds this... Oh no, we can't, because we don't have enough money to make a zone. What happened? You were making money, then you spent it.
Well, isn't that what money is for?
Okay, it's January, so we just got our treasury replenished. It's gonna at least lay down a couple acres of zoning.
Let's see who everything is going as far as our advisors.
So how is the war?
How is the war?
You know, 1916 and all, shouldn't we be seeing riots and such?
Well, we're not, if this is America, we're pretending it doesn't exist.
Why is a black guy an advisor in 1916? It was racist back then. It's racist now, but it was even more so. I am seeing severe historical flaws in your computer city simulation game.
Well, I don't know. Maybe vulgar display of power is an equal opportunity employer. Had you ever think of that, Mr. Guy who says stuff?
Although that actually is kind of disappointing. Apart from updating technologies, I don't think any of the sim games really have your cities change their look as time goes on. I just think it would be a little cool. I mean, in In 4, you get to have little props show up on the building. Like if a bunch of poor people move into a high-rise condo, you start seeing washing lines set up on the balconies. I don't know, I just think it would be cool if you started seeing like outhouses going away and satellite dishes coming up. Probably not at the same time, though.
Unless you're in West Virginia. Let's see. Let's build a nice big plot of residential here. Pow.
Zap.
How is our population? So we're getting close to 10,000.
Oh, we have a big mall thingy next to the skyscraper. Whatever the land value is in that place, we're doing good.
Mini mall. That's pretty. It's also very orange.
Well, one of the things is Maxis lets a lot of local color come into their games, so they tend to have a lot of stuff with a Californian look to it, especially in the later games where they get more detail and more realism. Oh, you can't connect those. Oh, I guess you can.
Yes, I can! I knew you were going to say that. Why must you doubt my omnipotent mayo power?
Mayo power? You could make really good sandwiches?
I'll make you a sandwich.
Please do. Peckish here.
You peckish head.
All this Let's Playing, it's burning up my calories. So now we're getting a couple $100 a year. That's actually not that bad.
No, we're doing pretty well.
I mean, you're gonna expect more, but considering we were down to $2 at one point.
I remember SimCity 2000, I think, was one of the easier ones to make a lot of money in if you know what you're doing. I think SimCity 4 was the one I always had trouble with.
Well, I have the deluxe version that has the weird little You Drive It arcade minigame, which it's kind of cheating, but you actually get pretty substantial cash benefits, like $10,000 for every mission you beat.
Yeah, that's right. That was the expansion, wasn't it?
Yeah, so if you have the expansion, it is incredibly easy to have a city generate lots of money in a short time just by playing a simple minigame. Speaking of driving in SimCity, for those in the audience who don't know or tried to blot it out, there was a game released as a sort of spin-off of this called Streets of SimCity. It was Maxis trying to really branch out into more of a traditional game, and in theory you drove around and you had a little machine gun and rocket launchers and stuff, and you got into automotive battles with other cars. The main gimmick is that you could import your SimCity 2000 cities and you could actually drive through your own creation and blow buildings up and stuff. In practice it didn't really work because the graphics for Streets of SimCity were so bad. Every building was essentially a giant cube, except for the really weird buildings like power plants and arcologies. Those were just really big cubes. And also the gameplay sucked, and it was incredibly buggy, and the graphics were awful, and you couldn't run over the one pedestrian that was on the map. He was just a sprite you would drive through.
I take it you didn't like it.
Oh, I spent a lot of time just... When I was bored, I would boot it up and make one of my cities and drive through blowing it up.
Well,
but it was really a disappointment.
Although the concept eventually did work in SimCopter, right? That came out after it, didn't it?
I never actually played SimCopter, but I heard it was pretty good.
It was pretty, yeah, it was pretty good. It would, but that whole kind of thing of playing around in your cities wound up in that, and I thought that was a pretty good game. I wanted to do a Let's Play of that, but I can't get the damn thing to run in Windows 7, so that's unfortunate.
Also, the You Drive It minigame, that was a decent way of integrating it into the game because it was run in the same engine. You didn't have to open up a different game.
Right.
It did have an effect on the city because you could make a little extra money here or do the good version of the mission and boost your mayor rating instead. And some of the vehicles had weapons, so you could drive around and blow up your city.
Also, you could drive the monorail.
Yeah, super challenging.
Well, yeah, but I don't know, you can reenact The Simpsons. I've sold monorails to Brockway, Ogdenville, and North Haverbrook. See,
we're flourishing.
10,000.
Oh, check it. Alright, City Hall.
Bouncy unemployment.
See, some of the...
significantly below the national average. That's good.
I guess we're just that awesome.
Earthquake kills 11,000 in Roberta. Okay. Look, there's the capital.
Some of the special buildings in the other SimCities, you would kind of have to weigh their pros and cons. Like in this one, the reward buildings are almost all free, but in 3000, some of them you would have to pay a lot of money to get for what might be just a small boost to commerce or something.
Yeah,
so
there was some, like, I really like the, wasn't there, like, the lighthouse was $5,000 or something like that?
It was like 50,000.
Was it 50,000? It was, I remember it being kind of ridiculous.
Seaport boost. Or the Bureau of Bureaucracy. So, again, this is something that the later games really developed on. Yeah, I see what you did there. Oh, click analysis.
Uh-oh. Oh. I clicked it, like thought something was gonna. 39% of the city is roads. I guess that's what all those acres of roads do, huh? Residential, 24%. Health and safety, recreation, our colleges. Yes, Cowboys from City Hall. Here we are with the Cowboys from Hall. This looks pretty nice over here.
You can also see, before I was talking about how the cars only appeared on the intersections, now we're seeing cars showing up on the straightaway, so that means they're carrying more traffic, and we're probably, 52 cars a minute. Not bad.
That's like almost one every second.
Which means we're probably going to run into some difficulties soon about traffic. Now,
there isn't really a whole lot we can do right now, though, because, well, no, buses were
have
invented.
buses.
Yeah.
But we don't really have the money to set up a bus system right now. We probably don't have the money to set up more than 1 or 2 bus stations. Ooh, what's the cool building with the windows?
The Microsoft headquarters. This one?
No. No, not that one. The one next to the Yeah.
It's a condominium.
Yeah, but it's a really cool condominium.
For what
I would want to live there.
You need to...
They got a pool on the roof.
Pools are good.
Carry on. Hey, like I said, I used to play this all the time as a kid, so sometimes I recognized a particular building I thought was really cool. And you just have nothing to say to that, do you?
I don't know. Buildings are cool. Large apartment building.
One of the things that I did have for this game was the SimCity Urban Renewal Kit, where you would have access to every building in the game and you could just click them out and paint them for free and then save it and import it into SimCity. So I would use that to make all of these elaborate, really cool cities and military bases and stuff, and I would realize that it didn't actually import the citizens, so it would be this vast city that would immediately turn into crumbling abandoned buildings for 99% of it, not unlike Detroit.
Aww.
L1011Widebody is from Detroit, and I make fun of him about it whenever possible.
Yeah, well, you're from Chicago, so...
Yeah, but weren't you paying attention earlier? There was a big tornado, so you should feel sorry for me.
I don't feel sorry for anyone from Chicago.
It's those Chicago values, man, and those Chicago politics. And those Chicago typewriters. See, the whole boom-bust demand thing is just really weird. We can see all these abandoned buildings sprouting up again. We have all of our nice, fancy hillside houses going abandoned, which hurts the land value of buildings around it, which makes them go abandoned.
Yeah, and it's not like we changed anything, really, either. Which is the confusing part. Actually, it looks like there's some room for some more industrial up here. Unpowered industrial. The best kind.
Yeah, I'm really surprised everything needs... Oh, look! K-Sim. I told you it was in this game.
What? Oh...
Look at that big commercial building right there.
Oh, hey! Case... Oh, that's a road. K-Sim.
Harold's
Damn it! Come on! Yeah, there we go. Corporate headquarters. Oh, the top of the M is chopped off. Hello?
I just got nothing to say right
Oh,
now.
It's...
I'm not some kind of quit machine.
Well, yeah.
If you're looking for input, you could save the game and then show some people what the disasters do and how you respond to them.
I could do that.
Or, I don't know, is saving and loading a game in a Let's Play cheating?
It's my video. I can do whatever I want.
Because this dude keeps making fun of me for playing Fallout Tactics in non-hardcore mode.
You know, I've never actually tried it, even though I've never, almost really never saved in a game.
Well, it's incredibly stupid because every single time you fight any one of the mutants with the big gun, it's like a 50-50 shot. Either they miss you or they inflict so much damage you're guaranteed to die. So you would lose your entire squad like the first 2 minutes of a level unless you save and load to get past it. It's cheap, but it's better than restarting a level 50 times.
Bump up our funding a little bit.
We can afford it now. We can throw some money around. We can make it rain. Hey, you could try putting in an education building like a library or something. Maybe that'll boost residential.
That's a good idea.
Just put a library. They're cheaper. We don't need a college. Colleges just have books in them. We can get you a library and give you access to books.
Right next to the warehouses. This is a warehouse of books.
Isn't that what libraries are by definition?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm super saying. I'm sorry.
Query the library. I want to check something.
It's a big F.
You don't have any books. In the Windows version, there was an extra little button in the middle marked ruminate, which is a nice little vocabulary word.
Oh yeah, that's right. The ruminate button is gone.
If you clicked on it, it would read you like a little 3 pop-up box essay by Neil Gaiman about cities and how he imagines cities as people and how people relate to cities. It was pretty deep for something that you had in a little city building game you were playing when you were 8.
Yeah, that's right.
I just like little touches like that. Extra stuff thrown into the games. Don't forget to check on your water pipes.
It's easy to overlook that when you're building new zones.
Because it doesn't nag at you. The only way you get reminded you're missing all this water is when it starts talking about a water shortage. In 3000, they would remind you when zones didn't have water, but quite literally, if you had one tile in the city without water, it would complain in the fluff text about entire districts being left dry.
Well, it was always prone to exaggeration.
Yeah, but even so, I'm not exaggerating when I say one unwatered building in your city would make it start nagging you over the ticker.
I would never accuse you of exaggeration.
I like how we just have those tiny little red posty things on the corners, which I guess are supposed to be the street's traffic lights. But all the power lines over the roads make it look like some kind of highway sign thing. Oh, we just had a whole section go dry.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
see,
it's summer,
it's
like you
hot.
said.
Yeah, see? It took me a really long time before I figured that out. Oh, and look, brownouts.
Oh, extra power use too. Query up the power plant. In SimCity 2000, when power plants get old enough, they blow up. And if you run it over capacity, yeah. So what's happened here is we have hit the peak for our power plant. So in this case, we can just sit here and hope that nobody who runs out of power ends up voting in the next mayoral election. But for the nuclear power plant, you greatly increase the risk of meltdown by letting it run without enough. Yeah, whatever I was trying to say.
No, I think that's right. So I'm going to drop funding a bunch to try and get more money for power. So we can try and get a power plant soon. The only other way would be to pay to get a bond, and that would be bad.
The other advisors must be really jealous of the transit guy. He gets full money. Okay, query the building right next to the coal plant across the road.
This one?
Yeah.
Industrial thingamajig.
I think that's the only funny building name in the whole game. Hey, that's a blatant lie. It says luxury homes, but there is one home.
Well, maybe it's an acre, so it could be more than one home, right?
Yeah, but the picture only shows one home.
Well, if the picture told you to jump off a bridge,
then I'd return my copy of SimCity because someone obviously screwed with it. So,
Haxors.
I don't know. L10, do you ever read TV tropes?
Oh, far too much.
I kind of thought so. You strike me as that kind of guy. There was one neat thing they pointed out in the tropes for SimCity. In 3000 especially, but also in 4, the zones themselves are kind of color-coded, so even from a far zoom you can see how your city's doing. Like, middle-class residential is gray and blue, upper-class residential is green and white, that kind of thing.
I never really thought about it.
Yeah, because here we just kind of have the buildings all crammed in, and you can't really tell without querying what the land value is unless it's obviously a really nice building.
Hey, check out our money level.
It's very... No one said that. No one said that in years.
Yeah, but now they're all thinking it, I bet.
Now I'm wondering which you should do next. One of the other SimCities, or just go ahead and be a man and let's play Brutal Doom.
You have been asking for that for ages, and I don't...
Because that game is awesome.
Just because a game is awesome doesn't mean I'm gonna play it. Haven't you? Don't you look at my channel? I have plenty of not awesome games.
Yeah, so it's about time for an awesome one.
Hamburg placing What? That's not how you place thing. That's not how you spell words.
Your approval rating dropped back down to 53%, I notice.
Well, didn't the walls of Morty's pawn shop used to be white? Well, maybe he's a black pawn now.
They go from talking about pollution to crime and hijacking.
Schools desire support. Oh yeah, we dropped the funding. Let's see if it made any difference. Not really. Grade A. How about our hospital? Grade B. The grade usually tends to be more based on capacity usage.
Yeah.
Rather than just outright funding.
See, here we are at another peak cycle where we cut funding for everything and we're running out of power, and yet we still have very few abandoned buildings this time.
Yeah, it does seem it is known for being kind of opaque as far as how the modeling of the whole thing works.
But then I could never figure out why the AI kept declaring war on me in Civilization 2, so I'm not the right person to ask.
Oh, they did that in all the civilizations, though.
But I mean, I would be sitting there and I'd be productive, and they'd be this tiny-ass, impoverished little island nation with spearmen, and they'd go, "That's it, we've had enough of your insults."
There I was, just minding my business, and all of a sudden, I got invaded by Gandhi.
Gandhi's kind of an asshole in Civilization.
Gandhi's a dick.
There's another one of those fancy condominiums with the glass windows. One thing that I liked in 3000...
And underground parking.
Which I think they took out. You could actually take a building and mark it as historical. So if you really liked the look of a building, or if you wanted a really scenic part, you could just lock all the buildings and make them historical. And I'm pretty sure you could also use that to make sure they wouldn't turn into cheaper abandoned buildings. I don't know if it cost you any money, but it was just a nice choice to be able to preserve buildings you thought were really neat.
I don't think it cost money. I thought it was just kind of a... I never really kind of bothered with it.
I did it because I liked how some of the buildings looked.
Some of them had funny names.
Which I just read to you.
Yeah!
Oh yeah, how many parts is this got to get split up into?
I don't know. I was thinking just to make it one whole video.
Yeah, but you've been Let's Playing for over an hour.
Yeah, way more than an hour by now.
Well, I've only been paying attention for an hour, obviously.